every pony, and welcome to Midnight Readings. Today we will be reading Silver Tongue Tricksters, written by Rarity EQM. I hope you all enjoy. Rarity threw her head back and mirthfully closed her eyes, belting out a laugh magician before her. Trixie Lamoon, who walked into town and showed off like she was the greatest magician on the planet. Trixie Lamoon, who ridiculed her friends and made fools of them all. Trixie Lamoon, who had turned the lovely fashionista's beautiful mane green. Ugh. Trixie Lamoon, who was standing in the doorway of the Caswell boutique, demanding for her cape to be fixed for her next performance. And darling, run by it to me again. Why exactly would I devote my skills to some pony who had the audacity to assault my person and fashion in jade of all colours? Rarity snarled, with a forceful flick of her mane in Trixie's direction. The blue unicorn gave a sigh and held back an insult. She knew full well that requesting Rarity's help was going to be a challenge. So far, she'd not been disappointed. Granted, it had been months and months and months ago when all this had happened. Before she'd stopped seeing Twilight as a rival and more of a mare friend. Still, just because she was on good terms with Twilight didn't mean good terms with Twilight's friends. She'd hoped that they'd make things slightly easier. She'd hoped. The great and powerful Trixie requires her cape mended. You are a mender? Do your job. Trixie spouted, only to have Rarity chuckle coldly, prancing through her boutique and collecting materials here and there for whatever she was currently working on. Ah, and as a mender, and a heavily sought-after one at that, I get to pick and choose my clients, and I choose for you to go away, she said flatly, shooing away at Trixie with an empty hoof. For a long few moments Trixie stared at the cape Rarity shuffled into her arms. She'd rejected her offer. Trixie blinked in awe and angrily tilted her head to one side. How can Twilight put up with you ponies? Ugh! This is why Trixie goes on so many trips out of town, Trixie grumbled. And I look forward to each and every one of them. Why don't you take one now? Ta, darling, I've things to do. Rarity snipped, while Trixie glared quietly in return. Do you know what Trixie set out to do today? She asked haughtily. Rarity rolled her eyes. Be a slightly less hateable unicorn? The fashionista jeered. Trixie scowled. Fix her cape, and that is exactly what Trixie is going to do. Trixie shall not leave until it is fixed, Trixie snarled. At this point, Rarity threw her head back and laughed. And laughed. And laughed. Oh my! Twilight didn't say you were practicing your comedy routine. That's absolutely gold, darling. Very funny. Hilarious, even. Now you may leave through the door, or through the wall. I am the element of generosity, after all, so I'm giving you this choice. Rarity squeaked with a bright, shiny smile. Trixie's ears fell to either side of her skull, and slowly the magician turned towards the door, flinging it open with a sour burst of magic, and stepped outside. Rarity watched Trixie stand there for a long few moments. She stared directly to her left. After nearly a full minute she sighed and turned around, peering back at Rarity sadly. But you have to, she said softly. Rarity picked up an ear and leaned on her sewing table, with a seething scowl itched across her face. Oh, no, she did not. I have to? She asked slowly. Trixie nodded her head. Trixie is the best, the absolute best mage in all of Equestria. Trixie only associates among peers, the very best. Therefore Trixie only wears the very best. Trixie must have the finest fashions. Trixie must have her cape serviced by only the finest skill and the finest hooves in Equestria. You Only your skill is good enough for Trixie's garments. Only your training and your talent can put the finesse upon her clothing that Trixie deserves. Trixie is not ashamed to let other pony take care of her wardrobe needs, but only one pony in the world has the skill needed to make Trixie's outfit shine like diamonds. Please, she asked, offering Rarity her best puppy dog eyes. To her surprise, Rarity set her sights on the magician, instead of the sewing machine sitting in front of her. They stared at each other for what felt like minutes, before Rarity finally rolled her eyes and let her shoulders slump slightly. "Pick it up this evening," she sighed quietly, grasping Trixie's cape and levitating the costume into the air and over to her, while Trixie quickly nodded her head and offered a small smile. "The great and powerful Trixie appreciates your assistance," she mumbled quietly, before softly turning on her hooves and trotting out the door, before Rarity could change her mind. Outside, and coincidentally directly out of view of the boutique's doorway, stood Twilight Sparkle, who offered Trixie a nervous smile. "How did it go? I don't see your clothes. Did she accept the job? You did compliment her, right? Please tell me you two didn't get into another fight." Trixie gave a little sigh. "No, Twilight, we did not get into a fight. Making friends with your friends is proving to be more challenging than Trixie expected. Of course, in the end, she bent to Trixie's charms, just like every pony does. So let's get this over with. Who's next on your little list?" Trixie groaned. "Applejack," Twilight explained. Trixie narrowed her eyes. "Let's get her done." I admit, I found this kind of funny. I mean, it's not every day that you read a Trixie story. Oh, and a little apologize for all the Discord. I found a really good Discord voice and I couldn't help but put him to good use. I hope you all enjoyed this little story. That was Silvered Tongue Tricksters. And I'll see you all next week. Stay brony!